Alright guys, as you can see, the Suzuki Finds pouch is locked and loaded with me macro racer and me T2. I think it'll be my racer this evening now because it's got the better rain covers. Might do a few tips for beginners as well in this video this evening. Lesson number 1 is about the weather. All you need to know about the weather is whether you're going to wear a coat or not, because the weather shouldn't stop you doing what you love, and if you don't love it, don't bother doing it, innit? So there you go. Back on Wayne and Steve's permission here. Kindly let me on it. Unfortunately Wayne can't get out too much at the minute, but hopefully we'll make the most of it next week or so whenever he's off soon. Bill Gresty over there in Wales there in the distance, he said he might be getting out. Phil G on YouTube, about you, just like me, hardcore. Right, I'll get on it guys and see what I can come up with. See that? That's lesson number 2. Don't be scared to do fields that you know for a fact have already been done. I seen that sign ages ago, and since that, seeing that sign on my friend's fields, I've had some great finds on here. You go out knocking for permission and the farmer says, oh, it's already been done, say it's alright mate. They mightn't have been as good as me. Well, it's just a case of they haven't swept the coil over that one find, innit? So don't let that put you off, okay? So while I've got the camera out, lesson number 3. I don't know how many acres this is, but you see them crows out there? Well, tight formation of crows there, they just moved off, but they were very tight. But when I first come to this field, they were all really in numbers, much more than that, just about there in the centre of my picture. Crows gravitate to places where there's nutrients in the soil, which usually denotes old activity like dwellings and that. I know this because Julie and Evan Hart told me, and it proved. First time I seen crows in the field, I said that might be the hot spot, and it was. So I'm going to try there first, and then I'll move over to that far dip, and let's see if the crows put me on it. So that's lesson number 3. Look out for the crows in the fields. No other birds will do. I'm talking crows here. They seem to be the only ones in the know. Alright, thank you. Alright, it's flashing down here, as you can see guys, that means the coat's going on. That's all it is to do with the weather, whether you put a coat on or not, remember. Tip number 8 guys, always try and read your field. Just like a good beach detectorist knows how to read his beach when there's too much sound and all that. Check for landmarks, like over there, that black bit there is a dip. Gravitate to your low spots and your high spots. And always keep an eye out, if you haven't already Google Earthed it, for things that stand out, and also just things that are obvious. You know, I'm in the middle of one of these little low spots here, and there's a fair bit of pottery and glass, so always try and give yourself a chance by reading the field and getting onto them more productive areas. Okay, I'm about 15 minutes in, and I've only had 2 targets. Not much for either of them. It's just a little piece of lead, but it feeds in to these tips for beginners. Remember, I'm not trying to tell all the old hands how to suck eggs. When you're a beginner and you're digging little scrappy bits of lead, you're digging bottle tops, whatever it is, stuff that doesn't rock your boat, don't stand there for like a minute complaining about it. This game's all about managing your time properly. Don't over-analyse the rubbish signals. Don't stand there for a minute moaning that you've just dug something rubbish. Just get it in your finds pouch, look. That's number 7, tip number 7. Use your finds pouch. It's not all about putting your good stuff in. It's mainly about getting all the crap off the field. Okay, so I'll carry on, see if I can get something half decent for you. Okay guys, sorry about the wind. This is my first significant find of the evening, and for the new guys, these are what's known as spindle whorls. The lead ones, I mean the plain ones are earlier. A lot of people say these are Roman, and they probably are. Nice pattern ones, medieval. Been doing a lot of asking for permissions lately, and I've been doing it quite well. Do get a few knockbacks. Permissions is a numbers game. Just keep knocking and knocking and knocking is my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. And something that come up in my just thought process as well. I've been doing this lately. I've had a few say, oh, we've got metal detectors and they come regularly. Well, I missed the trick. If you get somebody who says, I have metal detectors come and they come regularly, first thing out of your mouth should then be, oh, so I expect you've got a nice coin collection and plenty of Roman brooches and stuff. And if that farmer says no, dig in your pocket and give them a few silver coins and say, well, if they're there on your land, you soon will have, so how about letting me on? That's my next tip anyway. I've lost count of how many I've given you now. It's raining, so I better crack on. The rain's getting heavier and I'm actually enjoying doing this, so even if I don't find much tonight, I'm enjoying putting a video together that I hope will be of some use to you guys. Another thing that's just popped into my head is when you're getting your first few finds and that, don't take Brillo pads through them or Dremels. Get on some of the Facebook groups and ask for proper advice. If in doubt, don't clean it. Maybe a bit of water, but even then sometimes that's too much. So if in doubt, just ask and don't go overboard on all your cleaning. Alright. Another tip for the new guys. If you're having trouble getting on farmland, check out some Facebook groups and ask around where the rallies are. A couple of my favourite people, well, I haven't even hooked up with one, but Richard Evans, Central Searches, I'll be going out with him as and when I can. Detecting Sid with Mark Priday, Clodhoppers, Detecting in Scotland, and a friend of mine on Facebook has actually set up a dedicated page as such now, and he'll be flagging up all the rallies that he knows of and all the lads know of. It's Gary Smith on Facebook, and it's Metal Detecting Rallies UK or something. It's easily be found anyway. Just hit me up on Facebook, Stephen Gray, Anglo Celtic, and I can soon give you the proper link. So if you're struggling for land, rallies are another way to go. Okay. I'd just like to add to that list. There's Northern Relic Hunters, Stephen NR8 Robinson. He's up by the northeast. There's Yorkshire Searchers, there's lots of them. Southern Seekers have been out with Andy Hind and his crew. Who else is there? Someone else I was just going to mention then. I'll give him a shout out in a minute when I think. Oh yeah, Mr. Nugent, I think it's Jason Nugent off the top of my head. Jason Nugent of Lincolnshire Relic Hunters, a great place to dig if you can get there. But as with all these people, you know, you don't just turn up and leave a mess. If they're getting you out on the good land, you respect their rules and that, and good luck. Okay guys, last little bit of advice for this evening for beginners. Intrigues. When I started my Facebook group up, the first 12 months I was inundated with intrigues, and my type of nature, I got involved in them, overly involved in it, just to try and weed out the wrongings and that. But after doing all that for over a year or more, my advice is don't bother. You don't get no thanks for it, and while you're doing that, you could be, even if you sat at home not metal detecting, you could be doing some research, you could be doing some networking with good people. The guy's been complaining that people have been faking finds on YouTube. Don't worry about it, let them fake the finds. Do your own stuff, make your own videos, get out there. And when you're not out there, if you've got stuff to do with the hobby inside, don't get caught up in the intrigues. Leave it all behind, leave it in your wake. And I'll tell you what, you start leaving it in your wake, all the intrigue and rubbish, and just start knitting together all the good guys in this hobby. Before you know it, you'll have a really, really good crew of people. And that goes for any country. You know, this hobby does It just generates intrigue and backstabbing. Keep swerving it, and for every intrigue you swerve, just tap up a good guy and keep him in your loop. That's my advice. I'll do a bit of a roundup, but I'm not expecting much anyway tonight. I was just glad to. I just randomly started doing this tonight. I'm glad I've done it. If we get much more, I'll do a roundup. Alright, catch you later, guys. Just got this. I thought it was one solid piece of metal, but I've cleaned it up. Put a bit of water on it. And it looks like some, you know, leaf design. Looks like it might have had a loop there at one point. Very, very thin. Even thought it was onto a bent up hammy. For a second, I was going to prop my machine up and show the beginners how to do a hammy dance before all that design come out on it. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. And I can always do a hammy dance another time. It's that time again, look where my flying pouch is trying to tap my ankles. If anybody's got a tip for me how to stop this happening, give me a shout. The rain in Wales stays mainly with Phil Gresty. Happy days, Phil. It's not raining here. Just had this worn copper. I'm not sure whether I can see much of a design on it. It's about the size of a halfpence. I'll check it when I get in, but I think it's mainly gone. Just been enjoying watching, well, listening mainly to some sort of hawk or kestrel hunting. You must be on the hunt now. I actually walked up my street, which is an average suburban street last night, terrace houses and that, and there was a hedgehog outside on the pavement. So if anybody knows what you're supposed to do when you see a hedgehog in a suburban street, let me know, because I felt a bit sorry for it, but at the time I thought I'd just best leave it. Alright, I'm sure Phil Gresty actually will know. Cheers, bud. This evening's Anglo-Celtic production is brought to you by the letters FU and then. It's all about fun, kids. It's all about fun. Forget the intrigues, forget the Facebook groups, forget all of it. Just get out in the field. You'll never find much on Facebook. You might find a few friends. Try and get out in the field, though. And it's not called shopping, it's called detecting. So don't go out to the field with a big long list. Just go out with a happy attitude. Go out to play. And see what you get. Alright, kids. I got them few bits. You've already seen them. Can't be bothered doing a roundup. I do like the idea of this video, and if I can think of any more tips for another one, I'll do one. Right, I best go before, not just before, simply because it's going to be the end of the day soon. It's supposed to go home sometime. Alright, catch you later. Tip number 37. When you're making your way off the field, always keep swinging. Keep swinging till you're about 5 foot away from the car, even though I've still got a fair bit to go yet. Not sure what this is, hoping for it to be a cheeky Roman, but it's not guaranteed. Clean it up a bit better and show you later. When I do get over to the car, the last tip I'm going to do is show you the tools of my trade, and you'll see why. Right guys, it's getting late so you can't really see this much. This is me out tonight, just on my lonesome. I've got plenty of food and water, no matter how long I'm out for. Just bring plenty of biscuits or whatever you're into. I've got a macro racer here. It's neither my backup machine or my main machine, it's my machine. I've got Sam Spade here, 15-year-old Draper, I swear by. He's split a bit there, he comes apart occasionally, a bit like me at the seams. So I bring Son of Sam now as well. He goes in my boot, Son of Sam. When I didn't have a motor, this is a hang up from them days. Get a big rucksack and bring plenty of kit. Here's my T2. It's either my backup machine or my first machine. It's my machine. Always name your machines. The T2's called Elvis because he's the king. The macro being a racer, one of my favourite racers, Fangio. So Elvis there, and Fangio here. 2 spades, plenty of food, and a serious attitude. Just get your game face on. Don't play at this. You're gonna play at this. Take up golf. That's my final tip of the day. All right, kids. Brum brum, Fangio.